such a crick in my neck. My wife goes out and buys these cockamamie pillows. Let me tell you, hasn't anybody learned anything? I'm on this planet 45 years. She buys these pillows. You know these pillows? They're memory foam. When you sleep, these pillows are so poofy that when you sleep, it sends your neck out of alignment like this. I woke up, I'm like, what? What's going on? And then you walk around all day. I got my son, he's going to be asking me about Matchbox cars all day. Dada, what's the name of this one? Dada, what's the name of that one? I'm going to be like, huh? Listen, the best pillow you can own is you go to the dollar store and you buy that cheap polyfiber filled pillow. You get it? No memory foam. I don't need my pillow to have a memory. You need that pillow that collapses after like a week. And just like 15 years old, brown from drool. And it just lays flat there. And it's perfect. It's a pillow that's a little too flat. You can kind of fluff it up and get the height that you need. And you naturally put your neck into alignment. You know how it feels. You're like, that's the spot. Oh my God, that's good. That is good. I make a good cup of coffee once in a while. I tell you right now. Need a double shot of that, huh? Sip of coffee for making good coffee. All right. Guys, this one's brought to you by Pabst Oben. I don't have to tell you about Pabst Oben. Tremendous supporter of the show. Patreon. In the comment section. He's always there in the comment section. Leaving wonderful comments. Stories. But a real treasured viewer of the program. And he said he wanted Shadowgate. So here we go. You know what, guys? You want to talk about the cover art? Very disappointing cover art. Sorry. We're talking Shadowgate here. Where's the wizard with the scepter? You know? And the hero, like the hero versus the wizard on two like pillars of rock. Lightning strikes coming down from the sky. Castle Shadowgate in the background. What is this? This is a gargoyle? Whoop-de-doo. Popping out of its shell? I don't know. It says nothing to me about the game. What does say something is this copy was owned by Tully. You know. Must have been like a construction worker from Sesame Street. I don't know. Listen. Here we go. Battery backup still works. I'm always blown away by this. Nintendo games with battery backups. I mean, how old is it? 1989. 1989. Okay? I gotta take my hat off to Nintendo for that one. The battery backup worked flawlessly on this copy. And thank Christ. Because you're gonna be using it, guy. Oh yeah. Save states in this game. Thank Christ for the save states. Oh my God. What are you gonna do here? This is Kemco Sika? Kemco Sika. That you can just forget about. Okay? Because this game was developed by ICOM Simulations. Okay? ICOM Simulations, we know. Deja Vu. Yo Bro on the TurboGrafx 16. Huh? Oh yeah, a lot of people don't know. ICOM Shapeshifter. TurboGrafx 16. A lot of Turbo Technologies games. Beyond Shadowgate. Okay, probably... what an interesting legacy we have here. Point and click adventure games. It started on the Macintosh. On the Apple. Macintosh, and it was interesting to go back and watch it on the Apple Macintosh. Not bad, black and white. Graphics not bad, and they had an interesting menu system. In here you have like a text item list. You know, when you pick up something, it goes into, you take it, goes into your item list in text. In the Mac version, when you pick up an item, you see it graphically, and you put it on an item list graphically, which I kind of like more, because to be honest with you, Shadowgate, it's a visual game, and it isn't a visual game if you really think about it. Because it's visual in that you're looking at a screen trying to find items. And then once you gather them, it's visual in your head what you're to do with these items. So it's one thing to see key 1, key 2, key 3. I don't know how they handle the keys. I don't know. What are we getting into here? The important thing to know is we have a legacy of point-and-click adventure games, and that's exactly what Shadowgate is. Okay? 3 of the probably most major point-and-click adventure games, I mean hardcore point-and-click adventure games, were developed by ICOM and brought to you by Kemco Sika. The Uninvited, Deja Vu, and Shadowgate. Oh yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sip of coffee for ICOM. Maniac Mansion, but that was, I mean, we want to talk about point and click adventures for the NES. I mean, we got to throw Maniac Mansion in there, don't we? I mean, Christ's sake. All right. So we turn on Shadowgate and the one thing we gotta speak about when we talk about Shadowgate is the music. All right, that main theme music, dun 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 dun. I mean, are you kidding me? This theme song this has got to be top 20 NES game themes song. I mean, this is like the main song that you're gonna hear going through the game. And trust me, you're gonna hear this song a lot. Holy Christ! I got news for you guys. You play Shadow. By the way, the guy that did the music for Shadowgate, okay, it turns out he also did the music for Uninvited. And I mean, just go listen to the music from the Uninvited and you're like, oh yeah, okay, same guy. interestingly enough, he did the music for Top Gear for the Super Nintendo. And I got news for you. Top Gear has some fucking jams on it. Are you kidding me? Sip of coffee for that Top Gear music. Anyhow, I have the only I never played the Uninvited. No. Anyway, I mean, I remember, as far as point and clicks by Icom are concerned on the NES, I remember playing Deja Vu, renting Deja Vu, and just not being into that noir style. You know, I'm Wizards and Warriors, baby. So Shadowgate would have been right up my alley back then. But I gotta tell you something right now. No. Somebody tell me. Come over here and tell me. Nobody beat this game without a guide. I'm sorry. It's impossible. I don't want to hear it. Especially today. I'm going to tell you something right now. I turned on this game. I got to you go window by window, right? First scene, I'm at the gate. I open the gate. I go into the castle. I froze right there. And I couldn't get any further. And I'm so embarrassed to admit this. Let me tell you something right now. Shadowgate will let you know right away what a real moron you are. Oh, yeah. And I don't know what I'm going to play. I'm gonna play rotten 43-year-old brain. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. This really made me question my intelligence. First 2 frames of the game, and embarrassingly, I had to run to Google. Sorry. I couldn't find the fucking key to open up the castle. Well, the first door in the castle. I could not find it. I swear. Finally, I read. I go on Google. I just look it up. I said. I made a pact with myself. I said I'm going to look this one up, and then I'm not going to look up anything else. Okay, which was a big mistake because then I went on a 2-week journey that I was ready to just, jump off a bridge. My Christ. This game will drive you to drinking, man. You think I'm playing with you? Anyhow, I go on Google. I find out that at the front gate of the castle, there's a skull. You had to open the skull. I mean, come on. Who knew? Listen, this is a point-and-click adventure. You have your action commands at the bottom of the screen. Open, take, leave, hit, use, look, ba-ba-ba. Then you have an inventory, almost like a booklet on the side. So when you pick up things, they go into your inventory. Ba, ba, ba. You also have a save in the bottom right-hand corner, which you're going to have to use a lot. And you have yourself. And what else is there? I don't know, something else. And then you basically have the visuals in front of you, right? So anyhow, listen. So I had to cheat to get. I want. I tell you right now. You want to find out who the great minds of our time are right now? I give this game to Neil deGrasse Tyson so we can expose what a fraud he is. Okay? I would love to dig up Stephen Hawking. He's sitting in that goddamn wheelchair anyhow. Let him take a crack at this. Albert Einstein. Wouldn't it be great to get Albert Einstein back from the grave? Put him in front of Shadowgate. Let's see what he can really do. I don't give a fiddle as fuck about E equals MC squared. Doesn't affect my life. I want to see you do Shadowgate. Dig him up. I'm going to tell you something right now. The mood is great in Shadowgate. You move through a castle. You got the music going. The music is like driving you, right? You're finding items. You're dying a lot. There's death around every corner in this game. And what happens is that's the process, right? You die, you say, all right, don't do that again. And then it's gonna punish you with there's just death around every corner. And that was one of the iconic pieces about like beyond Shadowgate, because death meant a death animation, and this is where this game shine. This game was made for 16-bit. Do you get it? And no other era. This was supposed to be a 16-bit game. Shadowgate in the 16-bit age, they probably did it. I don't know, but they should have recreated this with the death scenes. You know, beautiful pixelated death scenes. It would have been awesome. I do listen. This is a very text-based game. Okay, your deaths, you know, they're very humorous. Little things that you do. I mean, you can kill yourself, which is pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny, right? That's a lot of laughs. I love the fact that you can use items on yourself. Like, you can use the torch on yourself. You know, that's the kind of things that break up the monotony a bit. You could use the torch on yourself, and all of a sudden it'll say, you now have a terrific 2nd-degree burns on your hands. And then you could use the torch on yourself again, and then you have 3rd-degree burns, and ultimately you set your hair on fire and die. So that's good. I love that you can thrust the sword into your chest, you know, and put yourself down. Why not? Sometimes you feel like doing that while you play this game, to be honest with you. Because there's a level of impossibility here that I can't even describe to you. I love how you can take the hammer and thrust the hammer inside your chest. It's just like you pierce your chest with the hammer. I mean, if you take a hammer, I mean, I don't know how much leverage you have, but I can't thrust a hammer through my chest. Then again, I didn't come from a long line of kings like you did in this game, right? The legacy is you're from a long line of kings, the end of the kings. And it's interesting when you go to Beyond Shadowgate, your father gets dethroned in a kind of stupid way, and you are heir to be the next king. So it makes you wonder, are you dad now? I don't know. But when you get into this castle, basically, there's some crazy fucking wizard. Okay, he's gone bananas, and he's trying to raise this behemoth. So I mean, but with his powers and whatnot, and then he wants to raise this behemoth. It's basically, this is very dangerous. We got to put a stop to it. We can't have this guy clowning around. To be honest with you, at this age now, I'm like, fuck it, raise that behemoth. Let's see this motherfucker in action. I love seeing shit like this. I was watching videos yesterday of elephants picking up cars. You don't know how effortlessly an elephant could pick up a fucking car, Jack. It wasn't even like it was shaking, like struggling. It was just in passing, kind of like, lift this car off the ground. Even a bull. You know what a bull can do? A bull can lift up a fucking full-size SUV. Like a fucking jack. And you say to yourself, ow, don't your horns hurt? Does that hurt your horns? And they're just like, it's like testosterone being pumped through a goddamn, pool filter. A pool pump. I don't know. Like this animal feels no pain. You ever see a bull? They're disgusting. They run around. It's like their dick is constantly slinging something out of it. I was like, what is this going on here? The dick is constantly dripping something. You ever see these filthy animals in the wild? They walk around, their dick is always dripping. It's like, well, Jesus Christ, take care of yourself, will you? Oh, there's some certain things in Shadowgate where you pick up certain items and, like, you pick up, like, a bottle or something and you go to use it on yourself and it says, like, you're not that type of warrior. I'm like, what are they talking about? Sticking it up your own ass or something? What kind of game is this? Anyway, the story of Shadowgate's pretty simple. You just got to go put a stop to this wizard. You know? I got news for you. I got halfway through this game. Halfway through this game, I got to the second frame of the game, and I was hoping the behemoth would come out and just start kicking my ass. I had enough. I had a fucking enough. You don't understand. The puzzles are so convoluted in this game. It's not fair. It's not fair. I remember there was one part where there's like a skeleton laying in the water there, and he's got a key. He's holding the key in his hand. You're like, oh, I need that fucking key. But there's a shark in the water. You go to swim in the water, shark eats you. Ba, ba, ba. So, I wind up finding this sphere somewhere. How did I open this box? Oh my god, what I had to do to open the fucking box? Oh, I put a gem in the wall, a box opened, I get this sphere. It feels cold, right? That's the clue they give you. Sphere, it feels cold. I said, okay. I go over to the lake, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to find so many fucking items. Your item book is going to fill up. We're talking pages and pages of items, okay? So you're going to get somewhere, you're going to get stuck, and you're going to go to an area, and you're not going to know what to do. So you're going to start rifling through your item list and just trying items. Trying items on the skeleton. Nothing happens. Trying items on the lake. Nothing happens. So you get to the point where, oh, by the way, you use torches. Yes, in Castle Shadowgate, there's no electricity. You need a torch to see. Guess what? Torch goes out, you die. You stumble and fall on your face and die. Yes. So you need a torch constantly. Sure, you can pull them out of the wall over here. You can take a torch over here, take a torch over here. Yeah, there are torches around. But guess what, Jack? The torches last like, I don't know, I want to say 3 minutes. That feels about right. 4 minutes? Okay. When the torch starts to run out, you get music. Like this weird like... You know, this warped music. You're like, oh, okay, I need a new torch. You fire up a new torch. But then you start to realize to yourself, wait a second here. The people at ICOM just pulled a fast one on me. This is a time limit! So on top of the rest of this fucking impossible game, they're gonna fuck me with a time limit. And they fuck you tender. Listen, this game is going to require a lot of thought. Especially if you have, like, if you're a dingbat like me. I got to sit there and think, Jack. Or I got to run through this. I think they're trying to prevent you from just going through the item list and trying things until something works. That's what they're doing. Thank you, ICOM. Thank you. So now... I got to go into a room, try a bunch of things. If nothing works, I got to load the game and then try something else. Until I find something that works, then load the game, go back and find that item again, then save the game. If you're going to have a fighting chance. So then the game gets monotonous. The torch idea was a bad idea. So anyway, we go back to this lake, right? I wind up throwing the sphere into the lake. Just by chance and luck, because I tried it out. The sphere falls into the lake. Freezes the lake. Alright? You walk across the lake. You grab the fucking key. I'm like, oh my god, I got a key. I can move forward in the game. This is fantastic. I progress in the game until the point where I get up to a fire. I'm at an entrance. I'm at an enemy. It's like a fire drake, and there's fire all around and whatnot. And I'm like, what do I do here? It's hot. They keep on telling you it's hot. It's hot. So I'm thinking to myself, what can I do here? And it dawns on me. Oh my god, that fucking sphere. If I had that sphere, if I didn't use it in the lake, and I had it now, that would be fantastic. Maybe I could throw the sphere into this fire. So I wind up going back, and now the sphere is frozen in the lake. I'm like, fuck, what do I do now? Now I'm trying every item I have on the lake, I don't know, and trying to get the sphere out. Finally, I figure out, by chance of God, I don't even know. I used my torch. I didn't even know you could use the torch as an item. I used the torch on the lake, and the torch. This is where there's a break in continuity in this game, okay? Because some things are just over the top ridiculous. You're not gonna thaw a lake with a torch. I thaw the entire lake with a torch. To get the sphere back. And then go back and use the sphere on the fire drake, right? Okay. There's other things that can happen in this game. You can use items. There are many places where you got to get to an elevated section. So I find a bottle of, like, it's like fucking ether or something like that. You drink the bottle and you start floating. Great. Oh, I know where I can use that. You go back and you use it in this area. It's a decrepit bridge that you got to go across. So you just levitate across the bridge, right? Fantastic. You go into the room. I go into the room. I can't figure out what's going on in this room. I leave. That's it. End the potion. You back down on the floor. And then I find a million other places where I could use this levitation potion, and I can't because I used it already. So there's some items that you can use. You use them once, and then they're gone, and then that option's gone. So there are many different ways you can take, which lends itself nicely to replayability of Shadowgate. If you feel that like urge to torture yourself again, I'm going to tell you something right now. Shadowgate is not a bad game. Here's the thing, all right? Once you get an idea, you start to understand like maybe how the programmers were thinking. This is where Shadowgate gets exceptional. And I'm going to tell you right now, it happened the other night. I was downstairs playing, and I swear to God, where's my brain when this kind of stuff happens? I'm playing Shadowgate, and it starts fucking thunderstorming outside. Like these huge thunder cracks. And I'm out of the castle, like I'm on the balcony of a castle, and there's thunder strikes happening in the game. I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking cool. I'm playing Shadowgate in a thunderstorm. And what did I think to pull out my phone and record it? I'm so stupid. It would have been the greatest thing ever. Because you can hear these wild thunder cracks. I mean, this is like... if you went and made a cup of coffee and you get a knock on the door and you open it up, it's Juan Valdez out there with his fucking camel. You get it? These kind of coincidences don't happen in life. So nobody believes it. I wouldn't believe me right now. The other thing about Shadowgate is everything that you think makes sense, like to do. I mean, you'll run into a monster, fucking, I don't know. What is it? A dragon. Okay? Got all sorts of, like, sphinxes or something like that, right? Run into a dragon. Oh, yeah. Pull out the sword. Stab him with the sword. Every time you think that you're supposed to, like, attack with a weapon, just do something else. Because it never works like that. And you'll use a weapon in the most unusual ways. So it's like they're constant. It's like when they were programming this game, they were like, we got a dragon here. Let's see. What would I do? Use a sword. Okay, let's do the opposite. Anyhow, as I'm playing during this thunderstorm, I started to get into a groove because you start to understand how the programmers thought when they programmed the game. You start to get into this guy's head. It's like playing Image Fight, and you start to understand the layout of the boards. Okay, and you start to understand. Okay, the guy that programmed this is fucking maniac. So psychologically, you got to get into a maniac's brain. And there was a chunk of this game that started to go so smoothly, and it got so rewarding. I felt smart again. I remember I went up to this. There's a sphinx there, and he tells you a riddle. I have a long neck and 1,000 legs, and I'm used like he gives this riddle. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And I look down my item list, and I'm like, oh, a broom. Sounds like he's talking about a broom. So I use the broom. He goes, you shall pass. And I'm like, oh, fucking great. That was a real score for me. I said, finally I did something that I didn't have to like throw items at this thing or whatever. And he let me pass. And then I got these glasses. I read this book. I got these spells. That's another cool thing about Shadowgate. You get spells, that some of the spells turn you invisible. You get to this bridge where there's a fucking troll. He wants gold coins. You're like, fuck you. You turn invisible. You say your spell right across the bridge. Going back to some of the deaths, one of my favorite deaths is there's these 3 mirrors or whatnot. You smash one of the mirrors, and all of a sudden it says that you get sucked out into deep space. I was like, what? Imagine that ride. Oh yeah. Just crazy things. You go to this, you find this beautiful fountain, and like you go to take there's like a flute hovering over the fountain. You go to take it, and like the acid from the fountain burns you. Oh, the other thing that was so satisfying is when I met the Cyclops. And I'm looking through my item sheet, and I'm like, oh wait, I got a sling, and I got a stone. So I'm like, use stone with sling, and then use sling on Cyclops. And then like, it's so gratifying when you see that, like, grabs sling and then yells out something. Like it's very descriptive in what you do. And they'll say it with a Norse scream. You'll shatter a window with a hammer or something like that, And I remember hitting that fucking Cyclops right in the eye with that stone, and he went down. And it was like I felt like getting out of my chair and cheering. I finally did something right, and I didn't even do anything right because I basically knocked him out on the floor. So I'm like, oh, he's dead. And then I realized I come back and he's back up again. And then I already used the stone from the sling. So I had to go back to where there's a bunch of stones. But then when I went back, I couldn't do something else because I used something already. So I had to find an alternative route to get back to. 2 weeks. You understand me? 2 weeks of going through this. That song. Dun, 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 dun. The music in this game is very good. Some of it is in short loops, which is a little aggravating. But the music in this game, for the most part, I enjoy it very, very much. So yeah, I didn't complete the game. Okay, I got the Staff of Ages, all right, which is something that I know you got to get. And throughout the game, they're gonna give you like riddles, you know. Just in case the game's not hard enough, now they're gonna give you riddles. Remember, when you get to the wizard, 5 of this and 3 of that and 1 of those and you know, stout of this and ba ba ba. It's like, oh, your head is spinning. I'm like, do I write it down? Do I take a picture with my phone? I'm like, what do I do? And you get scrolls and you read the scrolls and then the scrolls disappear. It's like, oh no. Should I have written that down? And I remember I got to this thing where it was like a lever system. Where you pull these levers. And you got to pull the levers in a certain order. I don't know. I couldn't. My mind, my brain is smoking at this point. Okay, do you understand? So no, I didn't complete the game. I know I'm right on the cusp of beating it. I'm right there. But I can't handle anymore. You understand? When you get to a point where you have all these items. I'm out of torches now. I'm basically loading the game and using the last torch that I have, and I'm trying to find out the combination on this switch box, and then the fucking music comes on to tell me my torch is running out, and I'm like, I don't know what to do! And I refuse to go on Google and search it. I'm not doing it. I got this far. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right? You want to get a job for the FBI or Congress? Mandatory. Finish this game. That's the job interview. Finish this game. And you got it. That way we won't have so many dimwits running this country. That's Shadowgate for you. That's Shadowgate for you. They should have called it migraine. Listen, thank you to Pabst Oben for putting me through that 2-week trial of mayhem and madness. That's Shadowgate, buddies. Listen, I don't have to tell you that you just tuned into the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization, do I? And you better believe that. With a 4K face! See you next time.